Hello, my name is Jay Carpenter. I'm the founder of Desert Blockchain at desertblockchain.com, as well as I am one of the members of ArizonaBlockathon.us. And I'm going to go over a presentation that I recently presented here in Phoenix, Arizona at a real estate and technology conference. The title of the presentation is 3 Questions for the Real Estate Industry and Something About Blockchain. So this is basically an opportunity for the real estate industry to take a look at some emerging technologies and emerging constructs in the blockchain realm and how that might impact the future industry in real estate. It's also, what I'm also going to introduce is a way for the real estate industry as well as other industries to have maybe an easy access to do some prototyping as well as experimentation in the blockchain space without necessarily having to hire developers and create things on your own. It might be a way for you to get a peek into what's happening in this blockchain realm at a very modest cost, if any cost, as well as a way to see what are the strengths, what are the pros, what are the cons, what's happening in this realm. So let's go ahead and get started with the presentation. And let me start a screen share here. So this is the presentation. I'm going to go into presentation mode. And the question is, what are some considerations that the real estate industry might be interested in at this point regarding what's happening with blockchain, which is a hot topic? So let's look at 3 areas in the real estate industry. Number 1 is trust. Number 2 is margin. Number 3 is sanity. And I'll go over each one of those. So let's take a look at trust. So the closest thing that I can come up with to introduce people to the blockchain realm that's kind of like blockchain, but a little bit different, is the old encyclopedias. This was a construct where we had companies like Encyclopedia Britannica and World Book create these centralized repositories of authoritative knowledge that we all trusted. They would go out and hire PhDs and write articles and so forth. And then we had this set of books that, in my time at least, my parents spent a lot of money to have these books available to enhance my education. Then what happened was we had an innovation came along with something called Encarta, which was online and an online encyclopedia service that had some success for a while. And it was definitely an enhancement to the old books that you had to go and look up and go to. The information line service was much, much better. But then what came along was decentralized, trusted authority. And basically, as you can see in this article from the New York Times, the invention of Wikipedia, or the introduction of Wikipedia, effectively overtook Encarta, all the advantages. And this is an example of how decentralized trust can be a preferred way to get authoritative and trusted knowledge and other trust to happen. And I think this is very relevant in the real estate realm as well as other industries. And it's something that is worth the attention of the incumbent providers in not only real estate, but other centralized realms. So let's take a look at trust and innovation. Well, here's an example of what I would consider to be an innovation breakthrough in trust, which is Uber and Lyft and other ride-sharing services. Basically, one of the key elements is innovation in trust. So prior to the introduction of Uber and Lyft and other ride-sharing services, we trusted taxi companies, which were sort of centralized. vetting of drivers, of equipment, and so forth, we trusted these taxi companies and the registration and the licensing of taxi drivers to get us from point A to point B. The thought of getting into a stranger's car or some stranger getting into our car and driving them from point A to point B was out of our comprehension until Uber came along. So this is sort of both a innovation in trust as well as sort of decentralization, where almost anybody can participate as a driver or a passenger in Uber and Lyft and other ride sharing services. And there's a very well defined way to track reputation, reliability, and so forth, both on the driver's side as well as on the passenger side. So then what came along that's a little closer to home in terms of real estate was Airbnb. Again, I would categorize Airbnb and other home and real estate sharing services as a breakthrough in trust innovation as one of the primary factors. And again, reputation, quality, and so forth are tracked and are integral parts of this new realm of innovation and trust, and a whole new disruption in the real estate industry, certainly hotels, and certainly to go back to the Uber and Lyft, certainly in the realm of taxi companies, this was a huge disruption and opening of a new realm. So the questions I would ask the real estate industry that might be useful is, where are there centralized trust repositories in the real estate industry in terms of title, in terms of information, and in terms of service? Because that's where this decentralized construct of blockchain is. Many people are looking at how can that be introduced and how can disruptions, the magnitude of ride sharing services as well as Airbnb in terms of real estate sharing services, how can that be introduced in this decentralized construct we call blockchain? So let's take a look at margins. Well, margins are often fattest in the realm of contracts, in terms of mechanical items in something like real estate. And there are breakthroughs in terms of the ability to put contracts and agreements and so forth on the blockchain, Arizona being one of the first in the passage of the legislation that makes a signature on a blockchain, a digital signature on a blockchain, as a valid legal signature. Well, this is likely to be a gateway towards increasing the efficiency and the speed in the realm of something like real estate as well as other services that rely upon or that currently use contracts and constructs that are not as convenient and speedy as what can take place on the blockchain. So the questions are, question number two is, where are the fattest margins in the real estate industry in terms of money, in terms of time, and in terms of friction? Because digitization and decentralization could very well be introduced into this realm, so that something like the evolution from paper books sets like encyclopedias to Encarta to Wikipedia, as well as movements from taxi cabs and trust in taxi companies to now Uber, Lyft, other ride sharing services, as well as Airbnb, that type of innovation and trust might be on the horizon for the real estate industry. So let's take a look at area number three, which is humanity. Well, here's an example of where the unfriendly nature, or let's say unhuman friendly nature of current contracts and agreement structures in real estate might be available for disruption and increased improvement via digital constructs like the blockchain. Because here you can see this example of a real estate contract that is less than human friendly, I would say. So in the mechanics of the real estate business, that is probably where the blockchain and other decentralized constructs of digitization might very well usher in new realms of improvement. And the other factor of humanity in real estate is the human side of it. So this is kind of like highlighting, as we notice here, this is sort of the biggest threat from blockchain. And I would say this is sort of the biggest opportunity in the realm of real estate for innovation in terms of the fundamental human side of the real estate industry that's probably never going to go away. And the blockchain is not human friendly at this point and ripe for innovation in the human side of interfacing with the mechanical side of the business. There's opportunity to innovate for the human side of the business using these blockchain and decentralized constructs. So the question number 3 is, what are the essential human factors in the real estate industry in terms of emotion, creativity, in terms of storytelling? And I think there's a huge opportunity for the incumbent real estate businesses and industry to start to experiment with blockchain and see where can human innovation and the human side of this business that's never going to go away, how can that be integrated with blockchain and with these decentralized digital constructs? So that's basically the essence of the presentation. The 3 key parts of blockchain that the real estate industry should keep in mind is that it's decentralized. There is no central authority, there is no central company, so forth in the blockchain realm for purely blockchain constructs. The other thing is it's transparent. Most, if not all, the successful blockchain entities and constructs and initiatives are transparent. They're not encumbered by proprietary constructs. They're not encumbered by patent constructs and so forth. The third area is that there is a weaving together of money and data. I'm not going to go into that at this point because it takes a little while to really appreciate how money and data are merging in this construct of blockchain. So that's basically it. Here are some additional information and materials that you can take a look at. This was created by the school, the real estate school that hosted the real estate and technology conference last Friday. And you can take a look at that. That was on February the 16th, 2018. This is some introductory material on orienting yourself to cryptocurrency and various existing initiatives that are out there. This is something that I won't go into, but if you're interested in finding out how the creation of wallets and cryptocurrency works, and by the way, cryptocurrency is just the first killer application of the blockchain. Here's another popular wallet and cryptocurrency service that people use to buy and sell cryptocurrency. And I am not recommending the purchase or sale of cryptocurrency. I do not do that. I do not recommend any kind of initial coin offerings or anything like that. So this is an excellent article that I think highlights some of the key items that are hard to get your head around in terms of the introduction to this blockchain and cryptocurrency space. You don't understand Bitcoin because you think money is real. Well worth the read. This is, if you really want to get your hands dirty and play around with a blockchain construct, this is a great site to do that. This is an excellent video that talks about how many different uh, realms are coming together. And it's Oaken Innovations. They're working with Toyota Research to basically pull these disparate elements together: transportation, blockchain, autonomous vehicles, the sustainable energy. All this stuff is highlighted in that 10-minute video in the prior slide. This is a bare bones basic. This is probably the first read to get oriented toward blockchain, what's happening, what it is, where it's at. And the other realm is, oops, sorry about that. The other realm is just a few comments about cryptocurrency, digital gold. It alters our concept of money. And all existing blockchains, in my view, are prototypes. So cryptocurrencies, so the first killer application of the blockchain, similar to how email was the first killer application for the internet. And cryptocurrency is a big deal, but blockchain is even more profound. So here's some other items of interest, especially if you're in Arizona. Our United States Congressman David Schweikert is the co-chair of the Congressional Blockchain Caucus. We have some very leading edge policymakers in Arizona that have a vision for this realm, and they are in action to position Arizona as a leader in this space. In addition, here's the article that was referenced earlier and talks about how our governor, as well as some of our Arizona House of Representatives and Arizona Senate leaders, are ushering in new legislation and policy to position Arizona as a leader in this space. And Jeff Winninger of the Arizona House of Representatives is definitely one of the leaders in this realm. So this is a little bit about me, my LinkedIn page there, and this is how you can contact me. And let me get into your opportunity. This is an opportunity for companies, entities, organizations, public administration agencies to have an involvement in the blockchain realm and actually work with a group of developers that will be getting together, developers and designers that will be getting together on Saturday, April the 28th, 2018. And basically, we are inviting companies in the Arizona realm, as well as pretty much anywhere. If you're interested in posting a use case, let's say you're a title company and you're interested to see how title of real estate might look on the blockchain, this is an opportunity for you to post that use case. Doesn't cost anything to post it, but we will be creating a bounty program where if you're a company or entity and you really would like to see a particular use case developed for a prototype, not only the day of the event, but on a 6-month development period on a part-time basis for the developers and designers afterwards, you can post a bounty and basically add some incentive for the developers and designers to take on that use case that you would like to see worked. So you can contact me, Jay Carpenter, and you can email me at jcarpenter@desertblockchain.com if you'd like more information. We will be having a session on February the 28th that will be talking about use cases, and that will look like basically this event, use cases for blockchain. We'll be talking about that. That will be live streamed. It is oversubscribed. However, if you're interested in attending, please let me know. Again, Jay Carpenter. You can go to meetup.com, desert-blockchain, and find out how to connect with me, or go to desertblockchain.com and that also has my contact information. So that is basically the presentation and explanation regarding one use case, or excuse me, one industry where blockchain might be having a rather profound and immediate impact in fairly short order. And if you're interested in experimenting with this new construct and seeing what the advantages are, the disadvantages, using the use case and use case bounty program that we're introducing might be your opportunity to see what's coming in the future, what the possibilities are for your industry, and how you might turn this from potentially a threat to an opportunity for your company or your entity. So that's it. My name again is Jay Carpenter. You can go to desertblockchain.com and find out more and follow along for the live stream of the events. So thank you for your time and attention. I hope this was valuable. Goodbye.